Look, everyone could use a cheap and easy meal. Even me. It's okay. If you're a broken, busy college student, is that you? Or you're ordering too much Uber Eats, you need to reel it in. It doesn't matter. Sometimes you just need bang for your buck. And I don't just mean money, I mean time too. That's why we're making the easiest, most affordable, quality chef-like meals that anyone can make, even a college student. One big problem, I've always made sure that I had a stocked kitchen, but some people don't. So we're using the prime example, a place that I never went to. We're going to 3 college dorms/apartments to see what they're working with, and we will limit ourselves to only that to create the easiest meals that we can. Real quick, before we move on, don't forget my cookbook comes out in a couple of days. You can get it in the link in the description to pre-order, but more importantly than that, I'm going on tour to come see you, and I wanna see you there. There's a link in the description with all the details. The majority of these events are completely free, so if you've already pre-ordered a book or you wanna pre-order one now and then bring it, totally fine. Just click the link in the description, find out the details in there. Now, moving on. Okay, so we're at our first stop of the day. I'm Josh, pleasure. I'm here to inspect. Oh, hell yeah, skateboard rack, I like that. And the cat.
Yeah, that's John.
We got some work to do here, man. Give me the tour.
We got this half-deep sink, cat box under here.
That's actually very uncommon for most kitchens. There's definitely a musk going on here that I don't think I've ever smelled in my entire life.
No AC and 4 dudes.
What does this mean to you? Why is this here?
It's just decor. Make it roomy in here.
It looks like you cook a fucking lot.
So my buddy, he's a bulker. He eats like a pound of beef.
Eat protein, put dish in sink, go poop. Classic college bodybuilder. You got some pans in here. Bro, you have a tamago pan. Do you know what this is?
Yeah, sling eggs in that.
But like, do you know how to make tamago?
No, I don't even know what tamago is.
Is there someone showering right now?
Yeah, my buddy Deuces. We should probably just look him up.
Bro, it's 10 o'clock. What's up, dude? Are you all right?
Yeah, no, sorry, I was just confused.
I can tell. Go back to sleep, you're fine. You have a stainless steel, has seen better days. The organization could be better.
No, the fridge.
There's not even anything in here.
It's the bulker, dude. He's a savage.
So, but you at least have a stove, which is good. Okay, this is actually a legit knife.
Bulker's dad got it for him for Christmas or something.
Shout out to Bulker's dad. What is going on?
What is that?
Pure carbon.
Is that or something? He got this like big bag of rice. Bulker's girlfriend got it for him, but he's like killed a lot of it.
I will be calling CPS after this visit in support of you. We're gonna get everybody out of here.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. It's really fucking hot, so let's move on. Hello.
Hello.
We're at Izzy's place.
Come on in.
It's clean. How often does it look like this?
At least once a week.
First impressions, actually very well put together.
Look at this fun little beep. I think it's supposed to be a cutting board, I don't know.
Have you ever pulled it out this much?
No, I've never used it.
I wouldn't use it either, honestly. It's kind of sketchy, I'm not gonna lie. All right, last college meal video. Big problem with knives in the drawer, but you did it right. The sleeve, put one of these on. Can I get a fridge tour? Let's see what's going on. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start looking at labels. Yeah, how long has this milk been in here? Let's see.
Oh, it is a month expired.
I'm like, do you want me to put that back in there? All right. She has a KitchenAid, which I love.
I did steal that from my mother.
The first KitchenAid that I had in one of my very first videos, I stole from my mom as well. I love this. Single egg, right? Yes. You get a little circular egg. How much was this?
I took it from a cousin.
So if you're a college student and you can't afford it, just steal it. Also known as hand-me-downs. This is the ideal specimen if you're a college student. But what's one thing that you can do that doesn't require any money? Organize. What are you cooking and what does it usually look like?
Chicken rice bowls. Don't have a rice cooker.
From the audience to you, we'll get you a rice cooker. We'll get you a good one. One rice cooker down and then we're on.
Hey, welcome, come on in.
Oh, air conditioning, thank God. What the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, we got a little bit of a climbing wall going on here.
Did you ask the landlord about this?
The landlord does not know about this.
Okay, so this is in the way.
When we turn it on, you'll notice it.
That's good.
Yeah. This staircase actually just doesn't go anywhere. And then, you know, there's just a wall here now.
Dope, sick.
We call her Mommy.
I can tell this kitchen's gonna be great. Yeah. All right, we're in the kitchen. I'm a little disappointed because it's actually quite nice. You guys have a kombucha thing going on?
You don't want to open that.
How long have they been in there?
Maybe a year and a half.
My question is, why is it still in here? It does kind of have a chaotic aesthetic.
Yeah.
You have a rice cooker,
We do have a rice cooker.
We're in a good place. Bang Robot. Long, sticky, delicious pink flesh part. Y'all are disgusting. Okay, we have rice. You guys are highly organized with that rock climbing wall, but not in here. We have a knife. What is going on here? All right, we're skipping over this. Cutting board, Tupperware, bowls. You got all your cleaning products down here. Diamond Kosher Boys, big fan. This is the same salt I use. All right, fridge check. It's not too bad. I can see there's like some organization going on up there. I like it.
Find the freezer rats yet?
What?
There are rats that were recently discovered in our freezer.
Holy f.
There was like a tiny little bag that we found. I was like, oh, what's in this? And then lo and behold, there's 2 little freezer rats in there.
I knew there was gonna be something f***ed up about this place. I was like, this is going way too well. Well, I'm glad you guys are so chill about it, because I would not be. All right, I got the info I needed, but I couldn't leave without trying out the wall.
How do you grab onto this?
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
just like-
Mommy, help.
Yeah, I think I got my.
All these 3 kitchens had one thing in common: a stove, some pots and pans, and some basic cooking ingredients. And that's all you're gonna need today. So let's begin. Now, you'll notice most of the recipes within each category coincide with each other. Sure, you could make a single breakfast item, or you could make both and have a whole meal. All is possible. First, breakfast. Breakfast number 1, Be Fast Sando. That's short for breakfast, because I didn't want to say breakfast so many times. Breakfast, breakfast, breakfast. This kind only comes around every once in a while. To keep this extra cheap, we used burger buns. Homemade are great, you know I have recipes for them, but whatever, store-bought works too, obviously. Split them in half, trim off a 1/4 inch off the top part of the bun, and then invert them so the split side that's on the inside is now on the outside. Trust me here. Heat a large pan over medium-high. Lightly grease with cooking oil of your choice. Literally anything you have on hand. Once hot, you're gonna add about 2 large slices of mortadella. You can get this slice at the deli literally per slice if you don't want to pay for a ton of it. Hell, you could even use bologna here, and it would be fire. Anyway, sear that bad boy for about 1 to 2 minutes per side. Yes, it will cup up like this. You can either weigh it down, or you could snip the edges like so. The choice is yours, but weighing it down is the easiest. Once it's light and brown and crisped on both sides, pull it out and set it to the side. Now, in a small bowl, crack 2 whole eggs. Season your eggs lightly with salt. Begin to whisk. I don't want to see any comments about how Gordon Ramsay said not to season your eggs yet. Look, I love that man beyond belief, but that is just not applicable to this technique. Now, heat a non-stick pan over medium heat. Ideally the same pan if it was non-stick. If there's no oil in your pan, please add about a tablespoon of oil or butter. Once hot, add your eggs. Swirl around the pan so it coats fully, and then just let that cook, bringing in the cooked egg yolks, letting the uncooked fill the now empty pocket. And once it's about 90% of the way cooked through and you have a discus of cooked egg, add a slice of provolone in the center, fold the edges around that from all 4 corners to create a nice square. Remove from the pan, butter or oil the inverted cut sides of your burger buns. Toast in that same pan over medium heat until golden brown like this. Then on one of your toasting buns, add a slice of American cheese, add the egg, add your mortadella, lightly folded. Crown your king, remove from the pan, but not before a quick cheese moment. Yes, that's very nice. And now we taste test. This is 3 different things in one. Anthony Bourdain's favorite mortadella sandwich, a breakfast sandwich. The grilled cheeseburger from Five Guys, because they cut the top and the bottom off. Buongiorno. Listen, if you are looking to turn a new leaf in the experience of a breakfast sandwich, it's right in front of you, right here. The fried mortadella is like crispy, but it's also succulent at the same time. It's fatty, it's rich, it's salty, it's just like, oh. Bacon is out. I'm done with it. The eggs and the cheese, we know what that's like, but somehow it becomes a new experience with that mortadella. And the beautifully soft grilled bread, it's like a grilled cheese combined with everything. I mean, we can just stop the video here, but we're not going to. On to breakfast number 2, churro French toast sticks. Literally, you just need a loaf of bread, any loaf. Ideally unsliced, but hey, slice is fine too. If it's unsliced, slice half of your bread loaf into 1-inch thick slices. Keep the other half, I'm sure you could find a use for it. Now, cut that into 1-inch batons. If your bread is already sliced, then that's totally fine. They'll just be a bit more flat. Small mixing bowl, add a half cup or 100 grams of white sugar, 2 teaspoons or 4 grams of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon or 2 grams of finely ground black pepper. What? Wait a minute, pepper? It's not mandatory, but listen, cinnamon spice and pepper, they go beautifully together, brother, trust me. Separate bowl, add 2 whole eggs, 1.5 teaspoons or 5 grams of ground cinnamon, 1 tablespoon or 12 grams of sugar, whisk it together until homogeneous, then whisk in a 1/3 cup or 80 milliliters of milk. Listen, don't try and be smart here. All right, I know you're thinking, Josh, I'm just gonna whisk all this together. If you do that, you'll be left with cinnamon floating on top of your dip, and that's very sad and embarrassing. Now, heat a medium non-stick pan over medium heat, add about a tablespoon of unsalted butter to your pan, and once melted and bubbling, dip your bread batons into your egg mixture, coating all sides, and then place in your pan and cook for 1 minute per side until all sides are beautifully browned. Immediately remove from the pan, toss in your cinnamon sugar, and pop on a plate, and serve with syrup, or honestly, you could just enjoy them as is. On to the taste test. This is the mixture of a French toast stick, a churro, and, well, I guess that's it. Good God. The crunch from the cinnamon sugar, it gives that churro vibe, but it's like custardy and soft and creamy on the inside, crispy on the outside, cinnamony. I mean, this is better than any other French toast that I've had because cutting it this way allows the custard to really get in. Forget it being low effort, you should just make this, period, end of story. And you're gonna save money and time doing it? Pause. This is Kevin. He was in our last college meals video 3 years ago. We raided his dorm. But when I was in Kevin's apartment, he had French toast sticks, and I thought, oh, what's that? I've never seen that before, I hate that. Tried them, they were all right, but this is like the upgraded adult version, and now that you're an upgraded adult, I think it's time that you put this in your mouth.
I'm ready for it.
Bringing you back.
This is amazing. It was soft, flavorful. I'll just take the rest.
Moving on. Now it's lunchtime. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I skip lunch, and I know a lot of other people skip lunch, especially when it comes to making it. You could eat this for dinner or a snack, but guess what? These are also the 2 easiest recipes in this entire thing, so less excuses for no lunch. Lunch number 1, spicy chili garlic noodles. Literally any cooked noodle will work. I would avoid any type of pasta though, that's whack. Think a nice Chinese wheat noodle, or even ramen noodles without the spice packet would work. First, heat a 1/3 cup or 80 milliliters of vegetable oil over medium heat until very hot, around 350 Fahrenheit. If you have a thermometer, you could just guess, it's fine. In a metal bowl, please don't use plastic. It needs to be something extremely heat resistant. Plastic melts, glass explodes, so yeah. Anyway, add 3 tablespoons or 25 grams of chili flakes of choice. It could be Sichuan, red pepper flakes, or gochugaru. 4 cloves of grated garlic, half a teaspoon or 3 grams of sugar, half a teaspoon or 3 grams of MSG, optional, but is it really though? 2 green onions, finely chopped, 2.5 tablespoons or 22 grams of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of white distilled vinegar, optionally 2 teaspoons or 10 grams of lightly ground sesame seeds. Whisk that together, then pour your hot oil over your spice mixture, and please be careful because it will sputter and pop violently. We risk it for the flavor. Boil your noodles according to package directions. Most of the Chinese wheat noodles literally take like 2 to 4 minutes. That's it. Drain them, toss them in your chili oil, pop into a bowl, garnish with green onion. This is one of my favorite recipes of all time, and truly it takes 10 to 15 minutes max. Now we taste test. This is the perfect college meal in my opinion. You tired of ramen? You go this way. Any chili flake, onion, little shallot. Maybe your local market only has chives. That's fine. Rough chop it and put it in there. Call it a day. It's gonna be good. Everything you want in a noodle is in this noodle. It's got rich umami, it's salty, it's spicy, a little sweet, a little crunch. You wanna throw tofu, chicken, I don't care. Put something on this or have it by itself. This will never disappoint. Moving on. On to lunch option 2. If you really want a complete meal, you'll make this pork stir fry, or just make it in general. Look, I need you to venture out. I know, emotions can be high. Fear can consume your whole thought process when it comes to something new in life. Thankfully, that doesn't apply to stir fry. Beef and chicken have had their moment. First, you'll need the cheapest and most underrated protein cuts in the game. 1 pound or 450 grams of boneless Boston butt roast. Slice that bad boy as thinly as possible. The thinner, the better. Sometimes freezing for an hour can help, but that's not mandatory. Now please, this next part. I know Uncle Roger and his nieces and nephews are watching. Yes, this should be done in a wok, but we're using a pan to make it more accessible. Literally any large pan on any heat surface will do. Heat over very high heat with a couple tablespoons of vegetable oil in pan. Once it's nearly smoking, toss your sliced pork in cornstarch to coat all sides, shake off the excess, and in batches sear for 2 minutes per side. Then add half a yellow onion thinly sliced and 1 jalapeno thinly sliced. Toss that constantly until the vegetables begin to soften, about 1 minute. Then add 1 tablespoon or 12 grams of sugar, 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of white distilled vinegar. Toss constantly until the sauce reduces into a glossy, beautiful syrup, coating all pieces. Cut off the heat, add in 4 cloves of finely chopped garlic, and toss until evenly distributed. Serve immediately with thinly sliced jalapeno as garnish, if you wish. And let's see if pork can defeat beef and chicken. Look, a pork stir fry. We did not use a wok. I know that it's wrong, but I'm trying to help people who don't have a wok. I get it. If you don't use one. If you do, you better use a wok. Holy I'm not gonna lie, I kind of half-assed this recipe when I wrote it. It did not half-ass in flavor. The jalapeno and the onion met in an Airbnb and fell in love. And they got married. And then their that in here. But it's also balanced out by the acidity, a little bit of sweetness, the umami from the soy sauce. And the pork is like crispy from the cornstarch, which also helps turn the sauce into a nice glossy, thick, almost teriyaki-like glaze. Solid, and probably the lowest effort and lowest cost savory option we have. Now, moving on. Snack time, pal. The amount of time I see requests for snacks is immeasurable, and to be honest with you, I don't snack, but we're doing this for you. Snack 1, ramen flavored nori chips. Literally any nori sheets will work. Find the cheapest pack you can or get a big one, and it'll last you forever. Cut these into 3 to 4 inch squares, which these were half cut, so I just cut these in half again. Lightly brush each side with vegetable oil or olive oil. Lightly sprinkle with ramen powder from a pack of ramen. See, if you made the chili garlic noodles, you would have used the noodles and had the pack left to make this. Dude, look at that, brother. Now, once both sides are seasoned, pop into a 350 Fahrenheit or 150 Celsius oven and bake for 4 to 5 minutes or until very crisp. Remove and cool completely and serve them however you like. They do keep well in a bag once cooled. Taste test time. Here's the catch. This is just a guideline. You can put whatever you want on this. Cheers. Damn. I was gonna say that this is better than popcorn, but we have a popcorn in this video, so that feels like a conflict of interest. But this is essentially a seafood ramen crunchy little bite. And you can make this at home in a few minutes, very little prep, minimal cost. Moving on. Snack number 2, popcorn. I have a problem with popcorn. By that I mean I eat too much of it when I watch a movie, and somehow it's never satisfying enough. So I have to eat 4 quarts of it to feel anything. This one is properly satisfying. Large pot, around 6 to 7 quarts in size. Add 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of vegetable oil, heat over medium-high, and add half a cup or 95 grams of popcorn kernels. Cover with a lid and start shaking the pot constantly until you start hearing popping. Continue shaking the pan non-stop, and once the popping subsides, she's done. Turn off the heat. Oh, look at that magic. Wow, it's not magic. This is what happens. Now, in a small saucepan, add a 1/4 cup or 57 grams of salted butter. Heat over medium heat, swirling often until lightly browned. Cut off the heat and add 3 cloves of finely chopped garlic. Continue to swirl around until the garlic is lightly toasted. Pour that immediately over your popcorn. Season to taste with fine sea salt or ideally popcorn salt, which is just ultra fine salt, and toss until fully coated. See, it's all done. And it can be served in the same pot. Now let's taste test. I get it. I popped it in a pot. Oh my God. Maybe you don't have a microwave. If you have a microwave, just use the fucking bag. I don't care. It's the seasoning that matters. Toasted brown butter solids, toasted garlic. God, I love popcorn. This is gonna be very dependent on the quality of your butter. Any butter is gonna taste great, but if you have like really nice butter, and I know this is like cheap, blah, 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 it's nuts. Immediately the nutty quality of the brown butter, it's salty as a popcorn should be. But then the toasted garlic is like, hey, I'm here too, pal. This is a solid popcorn. I think I would definitely make this again. Moving on. Snack number 3, which is honestly a huge sleeper, hummus mez. Now real quick, oh, you can't make hummus without one of these or these. Quite literally, you can make it with anything that smashes, like this, a molcajete or mortar and pestle. Hell, you could put it in a Ziploc and sit on it and roll around until you have hummus. So here's your example. You can get creative from here. Pop 2 cups or 275 grams of canned chickpeas into a large molcajete or mortar and pestle. Begin smashing those as fine as you can. Optionally add 1/4 cup or 60 milliliters of extra virgin olive oils and a half a cup or 125 grams of tahini, season to taste with salt, and the juice of 1 lemon. Keep mashing until it's as fine as possible. You know, adjust salt levels as needed. And well, that's actually it. To serve it, you just pour it into a nice shallow bowl, give it a little swirl. Optionally add a little glug of extra virgin olive oil, maybe some flaky salt, maybe a light sprinkling of paprika for color. And serve with quartered pita, sliced cucumber, quartered radish, sliced carrots, or any vegetables really. And you're done. Your friends will think you're a badass for making your own hummus like this, assuming you're an adult. This is an adult thing to be proud of. Let's taste test. I think most store-bought hummuses are absolute, and they always have been. They've been too acidic, not creamy enough, not salted enough. This is all of those good things and more without a blender, without a food processor. Already better than the store-bought one. It's not even about it being better. It's just paying attention when you're making it. Creamy and smooth, and yet there's like a little nice soft chew to it here and there. It feels fresh. It feels good going down. And if you want it to feel even better, put it on some veggies. Moving on. We finally made it to dinner time. Dinner 1, palm roasty. Think hash brown, but on steroids. First, you need 1.5 pounds or 680 grams of russet potatoes. Peel those. You can either grate them on a coarse grater, or you can slice them into 1/8 inch thick slices on a mandolin, and then cut against those slices to create a fine matchstick. It's really gonna change the look and the crunch of the roasty, but pick your own adventure. Now, place this in a bowl of water to wash off the starch. Toss. Drain them and place them in a towel. Season with salt and wring out as much moisture as you possibly can. Place those in a bowl and toss with 5 tablespoons or 65 grams of melted unsalted butter. Now in a small 8-inch non-stick pan, lightly grease with oil, heat over medium heat. Once hot, add your potatoes, press them down to form a tight disc. Cook with a lid for 5 to 8 minutes, flip and place that in an oven preheated to 350 Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. Pull from the oven, transfer to a plate, and of course, enjoy as is. Or if you want, you could doll it up with really anything. You want a loaded baked potato vibe? Maybe some creme fraiche, bacon bits, sliced chives, maybe some flaky salt, black pepper as well. Let's taste test. You don't need to do all this stuff. You could literally just do the potato and call it a day. In the pan, in the oven, done. You know, it really doesn't even need all this. Sure, it's a vehicle of flavor. Anything you put on it is gonna make it taste great, but even by itself, it's beautiful. This is beyond any hash brown you think you've ever had. I'll tell you that right now. And as long as you have a stove, a pan, and an oven, you can do this, and it's cheap. Moving on. Okay, dinner number 2. It's really the main event. My favorite, chicken piccata. This is a beautiful example of how technique makes great food, not excessive time. Get yourself 1 boneless chicken breast. Cut that bad boy in half lengthwise, leaving one side attached so it opens like a book of chicken. Place between 2 sheets of plastic wrap, or literally 2 cutting boards, whatever you got, and smack that thing until it's 1/3 of an inch thick and evenly thick. I use a saute pan because, well, you don't need a meat mallet if you don't have one. Season your chicken generously with salt. Then in a large pan set over medium heat, add just enough vegetable oil to coat the bottom of the pan, about 2.5 tablespoons or 30 grams. Once that's hot and lightly smoking, dredge your chicken breast in all-purpose flour, shake the excess off, and sear for 2 to 3 minutes. Flip and sear for another 2 to 3 minutes or until nicely browned on both sides and cooked through. Set that on your serving plate, and you see that in the pan? That pan is coated in all sorts of brown goodness. That's about to be our sauce. So leave that brother on high heat and add half a cup or 120 milliliters of chicken stock and the juice of 2 lemons. Scrape the bottom of the pan with a wooden or plastic spoon to get the brown bits dislodged. Bring that to a boil and reduce by half. Then optionally add 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of spicy brown or Dijon mustard. Bring that back up to a boil, then immediately cut off the heat and add a 1/4 cup or 56 grams of cold unsalted butter. Constantly swirl that around the pan until melted and emulsified into the sauce. It should be velvety smooth. Then add 2 thinly sliced garlic cloves,
Optionally, a nice generous handful of capers.
and a handful of finely chopped parsley. Salt and pepper to taste. Stir together and pour that sauce directly over your chicken, and let's taste test. This one isn't the easiest in the sense of technique, but the time that this takes, almost none. Everything's done in one pan and is finished on one plate. It's a perfect chicken dish. The acidity from the lemon, the brininess from the capers, and then that garlic is just like coating your whole mouth. And of course, the butter helps turn this into a beautiful, velvety, voluptuous sauce. You should add chicken piccata to any menu, but you could even do it in a college dorm. Moving on. All right, we saved the best for last. This has to be one of the most weird looking but oddly satisfying desserts I've ever made. It's a result of trying to make a dessert that eats like it took days, but it really was made last minute. First, you need 1 sheet of puff pastry. Ideally homemade, right? Look, I so desperately want to tell you to make your own damn puff pastry, but I also understand this is a guide for anyone to make. Look, just go buy some at the store, roll that out, cut it into 4 by 4 inch squares, pop those onto a baking sheet, line with parchment, bake at 400 Fahrenheit or 200 Celsius for 15 to 18 minutes or until golden brown and puffed. Let those cool for a minute or two, then split them in half. Get yourself some whipped cream, add 2 fat dollops onto the bottom half of your puff, grab yourself a frozen strawberry. You can buy pre-frozen or freeze them yourself. Grate that using a fine grater or a microplane. Drizzle with sweetened condensed milk, top with your other half of your pastry, another dollop of whipped cream, fresh sliced strawberries, drizzle of sweetened condensed milk, and finally a touch more grated frozen strawberry. Now that all that's done, here is the official price breakdown of every ingredient across these 8 meals. Many of these ingredients you can reuse time and time again in other recipes. But that being said, that is your spread. Pick and choose wisely. Final taste test and moral of the story of easy cooking happens now. I'll be honest, this strawberry shortcake inspired dish could have probably turned out a little prettier, but you know what? I'm gonna try it anyway. Hold on. Damn, you know what? This is really good. Yeah, this is insane. That like heavy cream sweetness is brought in by the sweetened condensed milk, but then the whipped cream brings it all together. The fresh strawberries come all together and it's like, wait a minute, this is a strawberry shortcake. This is a stuffed croissant. This is what am I eating? A beautiful dessert that requires minimal effort. The thread of recipes that you can make that make your life easier are limitless. It comes down to how creative you can be, how willing you are to make the changes, how much you know about technique, but we're here to help you with that. Hopefully you found this useful, and if you didn't, don't tell me. But with all that being said, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.